Rad Dads, do you like free stuff? We Rad Dads podcast is hosting a contest. Enter once for up to 12 chances to win cool prizes, including awesome swag like Rad Dad t-shirts and $50 Amazon gift cards. That's right, $50. Who couldn't use that? I could. Go over to our Facebook group page to find out more at www.facebook.com/groups/WeRadDads, or just type us into the search bar at We Rad Dads. Head on over there now to get signed up. And as always, stay rad.
Hello, everyone. This is Walter Eggers, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about what happened to me this morning because, well, I'm human just like everyone else. I'm not sure if anybody remembers, but perhaps, again, here I am dating myself. I remember as a child growing up hearing this guy talk about the hair club for men and blah, blah, blah. Apparently that guy's name is Cy Sperling. Cy Sperling was famous for having a quote at the end of his commercials. It was, "I'm not just the president of the hair club for men, but I'm also a client." We'll get back to that in a minute. So today, what happened to me as I was dropping my son off at preschool, and yes, I'm extremely fortunate that I have the means available and a place where I trust bringing my son for daycare, instruction, learning, songs, friendship, etc. I walked in the door, and as always, my son hesitates at the doorway. There was kind of a hustle and bustle, which is normal in daycare. After signing my son in, I turned to hug him goodbye. As I turned, I looked down, and staring up at me with wet puppy dog eyes was a young girl. She reached up to me as if to say, "Hold me." Now, I've always had a soft spot for kids, and maybe that's why I take parenting so seriously, but I couldn't help but kneel down and sit her on my knee. She cuddled into me. It immediately dawned on me this wasn't the first time that had happened. This occurred once more at a different daycare when I went to drop off my son. My son was fine, outside playing, running around, doing all sorts of things. But this boy, it was obvious. He was reaching out to me, just like this girl. The look in both of their eyes was one of desperation and need. They just needed someone. Well, I'm not sure what the social standard is for this, but I'm certainly not one to shy away from an obligation, especially one with such social impact at a young development age. I'll tell you the story about the little girl this morning, and maybe we'll talk about that little boy at some point in the future. So I brought this girl onto my knee, and she snuggled into my chest, tears streaming down her face. She didn't want to be there. I sat down, and the daycare providers huddled around, watching closely. What's he gonna do? I find this reaction pretty common as a dad. It's almost as if I don't know or I'm completely inept. I guess I've grown somewhat used to it, but it still kind of irks me. Now, to clarify, I don't think these particular daycare providers think that about me personally. In general, I feel most people do. That could be an incorrect perception on my part. We just sat there. I tried to engage with her, ask her if she wanted a sticker, ask her what her name was, and she just sat there in silence, snuggled into my chest with those jerky inward breaths. Children are pretty perceptive, and the others gathered around quickly. They all stood there, wide-eyed, gape-jawed, and watched. I called my son over and introduced him. I'm going to call this young girl Chelsea. I introduced my son to Chelsea, and soon had the privilege of being introduced to several of the young children. Why did I do this? Maybe I saw a need. If I took 10 minutes out of my day to help somebody else, it really helps me. We began sharing, and slowly, she kind of came out of it. She whispered things into my ear like her name and how old she was. This is only part of the magic of a child. They are exactly who they are at their core at every given moment. As an adult, I've felt the same way where I need to reach out occasionally and just wish someone was there to provide support. But as a single dad, I don't find that very often. No, I don't need much, but sometimes it'd be nice to really talk to somebody about some issues that are going on. Maybe it's because I've sequestered myself in an attempt to hide my problems from the world. I don't know, but I vow to find out. The moral of the story is, by the time I left about 10 minutes later, things were better. They weren't great, but they were better. She was no longer in tears, and she was still sad that her mom wasn't there, but I feel like I'd helped, even slightly. The fact of the matter is, she helped me. I'm currently wrestling with a situation of my own, and it helped me gain some perspective. I think we're all struggling in some way. The fact is, when I took time out to help someone else, it really just helped me. Maybe it puts my issues into perspective. Maybe just the feeling of helping somebody is enough to keep me going. I don't know. Point is, I think it's important to rely on someone occasionally, to be open and honest with somebody you trust. I feel that on top of that, I'm trying to be very genuine with everyone around me. There's no point in lying or masking myself anymore, especially putting myself out here on a platform like this. You know, that's really why I started We Rad Dads. I just want to be that platform where people feel comfortable sharing, bringing their issues to, and having a community of people who totally understand and are genuine themselves. Yeah, I may be the man behind the mic, but as Cy used to say, I'm also a client. You can check out Cy Sperling's first commercial on our website. There's a direct link, or search for it yourself on YouTube. It's pretty interesting. I hope this has brought some enlightenment to you today, put a smile on your face, or given you the proper frame of reference to roll into the weekend with. Nobody's perfect, myself included. Thank you for stopping by, and check us out on our website at www.weraddads.com. There you can find links to our Facebook group and Twitter account. Want to know more? I'd love to hear from you. Email me, Walter, at weraddads.com.
Please take time right now to stop by iTunes or Stitcher and give us a 5-star rating and review.
That's it for now, but as always, stay up, stay connected, and stay rad, dads.